Good day, everyone. I welcome you all for our today's session. It is our joy to see you all here today. Together, we will discover the 10 amazing topics with our 10 amazing speakers who will be sharing their insight and ideas for us to have or to know how technology and physical education integrates with each other. Just before I give the floor to our first speaker, I just want to remind each and every one of us that if ever you have a queries or question, you can write it down or jot it down on a piece of paper or have it saved on your phone. And rest assured, right before we end our session, we will be accommodating your queries. So, for our first speaker, I want you all to meet Mr. John Mark Lapiceros. Sir?
Hello, my dear student. My name is John Mark A. Lapiceros. The first topic is the current technology practiced in physical education and health. It's identification of factors that promote or inhibit teachers from depositing a positive attitude toward the integration of technology is useful information to obtain. Now, when we say integration technology is technology tools in education in order to allow the student to apply computer and technology skills in their specific task. Like for example, they are student want to research on his assignment. The student will be able to go on the library in their school to answer the assignment. Okay, there are some lapses on the integration technology, which is the lack of time to learn the technology. When we say lack of time to learn technology, is no proper facilities. Okay, and then inefficient leadership. Inefficient leadership is no manpower on his or in their school, or not enough on leadership, inefficient leadership. Anyway, and the third one is lack of understanding of technology. When we say lack of understanding technology, is the poor access to resources. And then the other one is lack of department-wide technology plan. Okay, lack of training opportunity. There are some teachers was involved on many opportunity to attend a meeting or like experiencing training camp like that. Like for example, there are some activities in school but the teachers does not attend on his part. And the last one is lack of funding. Lack of funding is lack of management. The school is lack of management to their facilities or their integration technology. That's why they can not manage his technology itself on their school facilities. The next one is the technology tools in physical education. There are some examples of computer technology, online PE, handheld computers PDA, and tablet PCs, video audio media, and sport video games. When we say computer technology, like for example on desktop, laptop, or tablet, on other school or in the other country was yan na yung ginagamit nila para mag-aral. Ngayon, when we talk about physical education, kadalasan ay sa gym nag-aaral. or like you being meron kang activity na ginagawa sa gym, but in today's situation is meron na tayong tinatawag na blended or the virtual classes session, or like you're nakaharap lang sa laptop mo, then ganon, doon na kayo nag-aral and you're doing exercise in front of that laptop or the mobile. Would you say online PE is like, for example, online class is the same situation right now. Nag-video tayo, video representation, hindi na masyado nag-demo kasi there are many wala masyadong ginagawa pag nakaharap tayo palagi sa laptop. Maliban kung sa face-to-face classes tayo is meron talaga tayong magawang activities sa school. Then, handle computers, PDA, tablets, PCs. And this is more on computers na tayo. Involved na tayo sa computer. Computers na tayo nag-aaral. And then, video, audio, and media. Video, audio, and media is like nag-move. Ang movement natin is bihira na nag-produce or like sa movement outcome na lang tayo nag-base when we talk about the learning outcomes. And then, sport and video games. Like for example, this one is dance in front of the laptop. Like for example, you make a exercise before you start a class. And then, pag different on this, when we have a face-to-face classes is there are many sport or many games that we have. Like for example, on the traditional games and sports. Ganyan. And then, the second topic is the learning sources for technology integration. When we talk about this one, technology provides instant accessibility to information, which is why its presence in classroom is so vital. Like smartphones, computers, and tablets are already an omnipresent element of everyday life of students and teachers alike. Okay, now, what does technology integration meant in education? Refers to the use of technology to enhance the student learning experience. Okay, when we talk about the technology integration mean in education is ginabase dito is to enhance our student to learn how to use technology, make it proper. Like there are some students that they don't know how to use technology, like they don't know how to produce a specific term on that topic. And as a provider or as a producer of this is I will be able to experience my student to involve on this technology. Okay, the next one is how integrated technology in the classroom. The use of technology during whole class instruction can foster student engagement on auditory visual learnings. Like for example, the PowerPoints and game. When we have the face-to-face classes, we use the PowerPoint presentation to produce our discussion in our student. And internet homework assignment. Like for example of this is there are some example on the LMS that you can access the assignment on the LMS and you make it answer. An online grading system. Online grading system, the technologies in the classroom is on the LMS produced. Like for example, there are some cases on the online grading system. In the LMS, nagtaka ako, akala ko, yun na yung grade ko. But, hindi pala. I mean, yung 90% grade, yung nakita mo sa grading system, ay hindi pala yun talaga ang grade mo. Like, nakita ko yun sa gidiscuss ni Sir Glidel. But, it's okay. Anyway, there are some classroom tablets. Classroom tablets is the use of the student to engage technology to involve other facilities on this school. And then let's proceed to the other one is the strategies of implementation for age group. The way technology is implemented and used in classroom of various grade levels and content areas will differ. The way ka nang naga-discuss on the grade level is the content will differ yan siya or nagapailalim yung discussion nyo. And ways to incorporate technology in the elementary classroom. Technology can be used to build fundamental skills to prepare them for future independent learning. Students can use interactive games to reinforce math, spelling, phonetic, and reading skills. Ways to incorporate technology in the elementary classroom. You need to incorporate or give an example to how can prepare the student on his fundamental skills, and you make oral recitation or any kind of activities for student to involve reading skills or any kind of learning materials. And using technology in middle school classroom, they can use technology to develop basics life skill. Like for example, the develop basics life skill is to know how student what are they wanting to do and give chance to student on what they learn all about the topic in your class. And student at the middle school level will gain independence by having different teachers for each subject. When we talk about like this, when I was elementary grades, nagtaka ako why the teachers was naga-change sila. In elementary yun. Okay, nagtaka lang. And on the high school, we all know that the teachers was changed by subject. But sa mindset ko on elementary is, akala ko, on all of the subject was isa lang yung teachers. But technology in high school's classroom, they can discover ways use technology that can be beneficial for college career and development. Now, when you talk about career development, when you as teachers, you prepare your student to you make it higher level. Like for example, me, when I was a high school, my attention is like playing soccer, like playing football lang. But I don't know what is the main point of this playing or what I wanted to play is. And naglaro lang ako ng laro. But nag-abot yung time that meron akong ma-benefit sa talent ko. Meron ginawang tryouts, kaya nag-tryouts ako. Kaya, on that process is, my talent is nagamit ko on the college level. Kumbaga, we're able to, my career will develop. Okay? Na benefisyuhan ko sa college level ko. kaya nakapag-aral ako ng college. And anyway, why it is important to integrate technology in the classroom? Bakit nga ba importante? Teachers often find success when they present the opportunity to use technology in the classroom. There are various benefits and effects when technology is used for educational instruction, and some may argue that not all the effects are possible or positive. When we use educational instruction, there are keeping students engaged. Don't mindset mo is you engage your student on what are they wanted to make it, and help student with different learning style, like bigyan mo siya ng mga ways to how to handle that process or how to do that things, and prepare student with life skills. Okay, prepare mo yung student, like turuan mo ng maayos kung paano yan gawin, or like pag once na mali yung ituro mo sa student is makukuha yan ng student pag makatch up na yung mali na gituro mo. Pag once na turuan mo yung student ng tama is i-apply niya yun on the right process. And the third topic is influential factors for PE teachers' use of technology. These learning sources are important consideration why PE teachers choose or do not choose integrate technology into their PE programs. There are some topics on this. Access to technology. A high numbers of participants identify the lack of access to funding and resources as the factors that significantly influence their ability to integrate technology. Okay? Kumbaga, access to technology is lack of access. Like, for example of this one is sources. There are some resources that influence their ability to integrate the technology, yung hindi niya ma-identify kung ano yung tama o mayroon siyang pagkukulang sa isang teknolohiya to participants on that scenario. Of lack of training and time to learn. Lack of training and time to learn, inadequate training, and lack of physical education. Specific technology training were described as other factors that significantly limited participant ability to use technology in their instruction. There are some students kasi that they don't know how to use that, or like how to do that train in front of the, like you're being in the classroom settings, and then in the training was described that factors significantly nang hindi masyado siya yung training ng technology is not hindi masyado maka-beneficial in the student. And then perceived value of technology integration. Participants' belief and attitudes toward the use of technology played a significant role in teachers' technology integration effort. Some of the positive way rule of this is the teachers was giving value of the technology integration on their student, and then feel the technology how it is important there on how to teach himself to survey show that what are they wanted to make to use that in their student. Physical activity time is more critical on the student, but the kids can be inactive when they didn't know how to use it. And this comment demonstrates the negative attitudes and belief that some teachers still have about using technology in PS settings. And let's proceed to the next topic. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. John Mark Clapiceros, for sharing your ideas and expertise with us. And without further ado, I will be giving the floor for our second speaker, who is a very young yet very intelligent guy, Mr. Christopher De La Vega.
Thank you, Fab. Hi guys, I'm Christopher K. De La Vega, your second speaker for today. And right now, I have 3 discussions for you guys. So, our first topic is all about the domains of educational technology. So, what is educational technology? So, when we say educational technology, it is the theory and practices of design, development, utilization, management, and evaluation of process and resources for learning. So educational technology, it is a term to use to describe a wide array of teaching and learning related software and hardware that increasingly being used in college and university classroom. Diba? So the ultimate and goal of educational technology is that tech is to enable an improved learning environment, which in turn is meant to boost student outcomes. It has also been proven to increase student engagement and participation in class. So that is educational technology. So right now, in educational technology, they have 5 domain theory and practices, which are design, evaluation, management, utilization, and development. So the theory of practices consists of the concepts, constructs, principles, and propositions that contribute to the body of knowledge. So the practice is the application of that knowledge to solve the problem. Our first domain of technology is design. So when we say design, it is the process of specifying conditions for learning. So the purpose of this is that to create strategies and products at the macro level. So design is the systematic development of instructional specifications using learning and instructional theory to ensure the quality of instructions. So it is the entire process of analysis of learning, needs and goals, and the development of a delivery system to meet those needs. So in design, there are 4 major subcategories. So those are the message design, instructional system design, instructional strategies, and learner characteristics. So first is the instructional system design. So in this design, it includes the steps of analyzing, developing, implementing, and evaluating. It emphasizes the parts and the whole of the planning function. So the next major is the message design. So it emphasizes the planning of a message to fit the medium and the learning task. And the third one is the instructional strategies, selecting and sequencing events and activities within a lesson. So it is focused on the choice and planning of a strategy to fit the situation. And last is the learner characteristic, which the designer uses theory and research about learner characteristic to plan for modification in instruction to support increased effectiveness for. So the next domain of educational technology is the development. So development is translating the design of a specification into physical form. So it includes hardware, software, visual and auditory materials, as well as the programs or packages which integrate the various parts. So the development is the phase where the design plan is put into action, developers begin to systematically develop instructional material, student guide, lesson plans, multimedia content, and assessment. So in development, there are four subcategories, which are the print technologies, audiovisual technologies, computer-based technologies, and integrated technologies. So the role of the subcategories of development is that to provide the foundation or base for the development of utilization of other instructional technologies. So those four is to inform or to store electronically in the form of digital data rather than as print or visual or auditory and visual messages. So there are ways to produce and deliver materials is which encompasses several forms of media under the control of the computer. Yes. So the next domain is the utilization. When we say utilization, is the act of using processes and resources of learning. So the utilization is the oldest of the domains. So utilization, technology is a useful tool in the development and growth of schools and other educational institutions. Its utilization for schooling and classroom purposes is an added advantage to the society and specifically to the children. So in utilization, there are four subcategories. The first one is the media utilization. So in media utilization, it is the decision-making process on instructional design specification. And the division of innovation is to bring about change. And the third one is implementation and institutionalization is that to continue the change process. Institutionalization serves to integrate the innovation in the structure and life of the organization. And lastly is the policies and regulation. It is generating, refining, interpreting, and disseminating rules which affect the use and diffusion of instructional technology. So that is the four subcategories of the utilization. So the next domain is the management. When we say management, it is the instructional technologies are often called upon to manage. So these are the basic skills necessary to manage remain constant. So the educational management is the administration of the education system in which a group combines human and material resources to supervise, plan strategies, and implement instruction to execute an education system. So in management, there are four subcategories. The first one is instructional technologies. When we say that is that it is often called upon to manage. It is the basic skills necessary to remain constant. So that is the instructional technologies. The second one is the resource management. It includes personnel, budget, supplies, time, facilities, and instructional resources. And the third one is delivery system management. It focuses on product issues such as hardware or software equipment and technical support to users and operators and process issues such as guidelines for designers and instructors. The last subcategories is the information management. It is the plan, monitor, and control the storage, transfer, or processing of information in order to provide resources for learning. So that are the four subcategories of the management. So the last domain of the educational technology is evaluation. Evaluation is the process of determining the merit, worth, or value of an instructional program, project, or product for the purpose of making a judgment. So evaluating is the use of educational technology in class is important as evaluating the process done in any project. To evaluate a process or item as to determine its importance and usefulness. So in evaluation, there are three subcategories. The first one is the problem analysis. It includes identifying needs, determining to what extent the problem can be classified as instructional in nature, identifying constraints, resources and learner characteristics, and determining goals and priorities. And the second one is the criterion reference managed measurement. It is to which a learner, program, project, or product has met the objective. And the last one is the formative and summative evaluation. So, gathering of information on adequacy and using this information as a basis for further development, and information to make decisions about implementation or institutionalization. So our next topic is all about the technology integration for PE and health. So here, we have to integrate technology for physical education and health. So the first one is the physical education apps. So the boom in mobile technology has provided physical educators with a wealth of tools. There are numerous parts or apps that can be taken advantage of. Some with allowing for movement, tracking and nutritional help, while others assist in enhancing athletic activities like volleyball or basketball. So apps for use in physical education and health, circuits, physical tests, stretching and games are some of the activities proposed by this application to perform physical exercise without leaving home. So that is the physical education apps. So the next one is the wearable technology. So wearable technology has changed the way we collect and evaluate personal data. So this wear technology is the ability to self-monitor and self-regulate their learning experiences. Smartwatches can be synced to a user's phone or tablet and can increase communication between teachers and students. So that is the wearable tech. So next is the virtual connection. So when we say virtual connection, it is the effective learning involves two-way communication where students are able to engage in discussion and challenge the teacher's idea in order to achieve a deeper understanding. So virtual learning is an educational experience or activity that is delivered through an online platform and can be accessed outside of the classroom. There are several ways that schools may consider using virtual learning to deliver lesson to students. So that is the virtual connection. The last topic is all about the 6 ways to integrate technology into PE. So teaching physical education can be challenging due to lack of equipment to keeping students engaged. So some educators are turning to technology to create more dynamic classes that work for students with a wide range of fitness levels. So the first way to integrate technology in PE is the pedometer. Pedometer is designed to detect vertical movement at the hip and so measure the number of steps and provide an estimate of distance walked. So yes, pedometer can measure your steps because your body swings from side to side as you walk. So each swings counts as 1 step. So multiplying the number of swings by the average length of your steps tells you how far you've gone. So that is the pedometer. So the next one is the heart rate monitors. So that is understandable. So it is a personal monitoring device that allows one to measure heart rate in real time or record the heart rate. So this is heart rate monitors your heart rate if you are if you are go to a activities or vigorous activities and other. So the next one is the health tracking. It is the collection and analysis of various data points related to one's health. So health management or app or tracking assists individuals in monitoring their own health conditions such as heart disease, diabetes, pregnancy, mental health, and more. Allow healthcare providers to share and report on a patient's or personal health records remotely and help keep track of medication. So that is health tracking. So the next one is apps. Apps can assist in improving athletic activities. So in apps, it can help you to understand and to know what basic activity that you must able to do if you are going to exercise and to work out. So that is the apps. The next one is the video resources. So video resources offer a wide range of tools for educators, wide variety of how-to videos that can apply to any age and group. So educational video resources play a significant role in the school curriculum for teachers who seek to deliver core lessons, reading, and new skills. So that is the video resources. And lastly is the games. For these games and any video resources, projecting the video on a wall or screen allows everybody to see what is happening. So games of education allows learners to take active roles in teaching and develop technological skills that are needed for their academic and professional careers. So that is the games. That's it. That is the 6 ways to integrate technology in physical education. So that is the end of my discussion. I hope that you learned something from me for my 3 topics or my discussion, and thank you for inviting me here to share my ideas about the physical education. So thank you for listening. I'm Christopher Galidio Vega, and bye-bye. Thank you guys. Thank you students.
Thank you so much, Mr. De La Vega. And also, it is our joy to have you here with us today. And for our final speaker, who will be tackling the final or the 3 final topics, I will give the floor to Mr. Alvin Herrera. Sir?
In this section, we'll be talking about how technology aid or changes physical education. So, when we talk about technology, it involves it can also be related or integrated through the means of physical education. And imagine we're running and we want to get a very detailed or specific things that we want to know. By the means of technology, by this, it will help us to gain more to gain more details or a very specific details or a precise one. And there are also applications that can help they that can help a that can help assess learnings or assess learnings and then reinforce knowledge to the use of it. These were the examples of those. Kahoot, we have Kahoot. Kahoot is a platform where a teacher could use so that it is an alternative way to assess. Especially, we could also use this because in this means of pandemic, we're facing a new different way of learning. That is one of through the presence of internet. So we could use Kahoot as a means of platform where we can share of the game pin to the students so that they could see what the teacher would want them to answer, and this is how it's done. Okay. So this is the site of Kahoot, and we will sign up and then go for teacher, click teacher. For student is students, so it's just the two. So when we click teacher, as a teacher access, we could use this to integrate an assessment. So this is where we impart the questions that the student will answer, and then once we've done and we want the students to get it, we'll share the game pin, and then the students will fill up with the pin that we given to them. So we have Metric.me. Metric.me is a phone app that helps track fitness and many other more or daily routines that we could use for the students to have a daily routine that they can follow, or we could say that this aids the students to become more fit or healthy. So in 21st century learners, these are the two learners that are very rampant nowadays, or what we have nowadays. So they are very innovative and very creative. So as a teacher or a future educator, you need to cope up with the demands of the students. As we all know, we need to in order for us to impart a very meaningful knowledge or effectively, we need to meet the standards or the levels of the students so that they can learn. So we have also learning style group. It's very essential for us to learn these learning style groups for in terms of there are certain students that belongs to this type of learning styles. We can have the appropriate approaches that we could use to them. So we have visual learners. When we say visual learners, they are the one who learn through charts, through the organizers that a teacher will post. So they're more on visual. They're more on visual. So what they see is what they can learn effectively. And we have also auditory learners. They are the one who's good at listening. So if you're a teacher, you talk to them, you let them carry out the task, you give them the information through talking, and they will cope up very easily. So that will also the approaches that you are gonna use as approach for auditory learners. So kinesthetic learners are the ones who learn through experience, and as a teacher, you will let the kinesthetic learner carry out the task for them in order to learn effectively. And then reading and writing learners, they're the one who learn from reading things and then writing things. So tasks will be given through notes, and the reading and writing learner will read it and they can very easily cope up with it.
Thank you so much, Sir Alvin, for sharing your expertise with us. And yes, we are done with our 10 topics for today's session, who has been discussed by our three amazing speakers. And hope you have learned something from our today's session. And stay safe, everyone, and God bless. You can raise your queries or question on our chat box or on our live sessions.